and welcome to the totally long-awaited 4th episode of TF2 Weapon Review. Today I'll be reviewing the Equalizer, a melee unlock for the soldier. But before I begin to list the stats of the Equalizer, I have to set the ambiance. In an age long, long ago, called 2009, the Equalizer was released, with these stats. Damage and speed increases as health decreases, along with the downside of blocked healing from medics. Now, these stats might seem familiar. Isn't the speed increase while at low health what was a part of the escape plan and not the Equalizer? Yes. In 2012, the attributes of this beta Equalizer were split in two with the creation of the escape plan, which took the speed increase while injured, while the Equalizer was stuck with the damage increase and nothing else. Thankfully, with the split, they were also buffed to have only a 90% decrease in healing for medics while active. And that's where the Equalizer's stats stand today. Damage increases as user becomes injured, and 90% less healing from medic sources while active. Now let's crunch the numbers. At max HP or overhealed, you will deal 33 damage per hit. Alright, this seems a bit low. But when you are at the minimum health value of 1 HP, you will deal 107 damage per hit. So it turns out the Equalizer has a hidden downside. Damage doesn't just increase with lower health, it also decreases with higher health. This basically adds a pseudo 50% damage penalty to the weapon, which also limits its maximum damage. The thresholds that up to 107 damage passes is killing pyros, demoman, and soldiers in 2 hits, along with a heavy in 3. This is extremely minuscule, as these are probably the least likely classes that you'd actually be able to land a melee hit on, especially with soldier speed. Pre-split Equalizer had this way better, where you'd also be zooming around the map, allowing you to run directly at people, dodging shots, and whacking people with 107 damage. But now the Equalizer doesn't have that speed, and you're going for people who have 1 HP isn't viable at all. While watching me whip out the Equalizer right here to kill this heavy, it might seem like a pretty good option, but consider the fact that the hit only did 43 damage, meaning I got really lucky that he was that low and would have been better off using stock. That heavy isn't just going to let you get 3 hits on him before you get mowed down, and don't even try it on a Pyro or Demonite, even if you can still be at 52 HP to 2-shot them. But the Equalizer has one more trick up its sleeve if you're still considering using it over the escape plan. Random crits. That's the only thing keeping this weapon going, because you can do a grand total of 321 damage with a random crit at 1 HP, so it's a great meme strat. Now, to end this homogeneous usage section, all you want to do with this thing is pull it out when you run out of rumor rockets and people are near you, to take advantage of the slight increase in damage. But it won't be useful in killing anyone better than stock if you haven't dealt damage already, or if you get a random crit, and that's not nice to rely on. If you do want to go for the funny meme melee clips, this will not be better than using anything else. You are putting yourself much more in danger by trying to actually do damage with the Equalizer. At least it gets the kamikaze taunt. Like most melees, the Equalizer can really be used with anything, and doesn't have anything it really synergizes with. The one thing it isn't is a market gardener. You shouldn't be making yourself more vulnerable to air shots and fall damage just for the potential to one-shot a heavy. If you're going for that, just use stock. The Equalizer is a liability. It encourages you to run and attack your enemies while you're at low HP, along with barely giving you any benefits while doing so. It only has a niche use case where it's better than using stock, and that's when you run out of ammo and are able to random crit someone to death. Most other melees can already do that kind of thing, even the escape plan, which somehow does the Equalizer's job way better. Not quite cancerous, but only has niche use cases. Now, to fix this thing, I'm not going to pull a Grouch, make it way more polarized so it can actually murder things, but I am going to pull a Bleed for 8 seconds. No, seriously, that's what I'm doing. As damage decreases, increase seconds of bleed on hit, up to a maximum of 8 seconds at minimum HP. Heal 8 HP for every bleed tick you deal, and lastly, slap on a 45% damage penalty, a 20% slower holster speed, and classic 90% less healing from medic sources while active. The goal of this change is to give a reason to go in and hit people with the Equalizer, while still keeping its original design philosophy. Hitting someone with the Equalizer at minimum HP will deal a total of 100 damage, along with healing you for a total of 128 health. But healing yourself won't ruin that damage, because it's done with bleed damage over time. You can easily hit your enemy again with some more bleed damage to ultimately kill them, along with healing for a bunch of health. This will give you a reason to pull your melee out when you're running out of health as soldier, but only works as a last resort at low health. You can't take it out all willy-nilly with the holster speed, and if you attack with the new Equalizer at maximum health, you'll only deal a measly 36 damage. At least it keeps its random crits, unlike the majority of community weapon ideas. These changes make the Equalizer a balanced and worthwhile weapon to use over other melees in slot, unlike now where it rots away in purgatory of being questionably better or worse than stock. And that's it for this episode of TF2 Weapon Review. Sorry this one took so long for me to make. I don't really have a good excuse for that one. If you made it this far, you should consider subscribing. Suggest the next weapon I should review in the comments.